Pradesh, it's very different. The BJP is leading, the NDA is leading in 32 out of 40. So you've got two large states voting very, very differently. And that's the story of this 2024 election. Each state is voting differently to the other. Just for a moment, my
Rajdeep, in Bihar, the JDU is doing better than the BJP.
What you just said, yes.
15 to the JDU, 11 to the BJP.
Out of 16 JDUs at 15.
Nitish Babu.
And everybody said JDU is the Kamzor party.
Here's a question. Here's a question for Nitish Babu. Should he have switched?
No, but
But you're saying that it's conjecture.
Nitish Kumar 15 and Navin and Chandrababu Naidu 20, 35.
In
35 between
Are you giving
these two.
ideas, Rajdeep?
I'm giving nobody ideas. Can you just tell us Manipur? I know that the state has slipped off the map, Rahul, but a friend of mine from Imphal wants to know, what are the, will you tell us what's happening in Manipur?
So on the 2 seats of Manipur, we'll give our viewers a sense of what's happening in Manipur. The BJP is up on 1, the India Alliance is up on 1. This is the NPF, and the India Alliance has 1 lead, which is up 1. This is Inner Manipur. So India Alliance leading on Inner Manipur, and the NPF is leading in Outer Manipur, which is a tribal reserved seat.
You know, so that's interesting because the NDA was expected, of course, to win the Imphal seat, the Valley seat, and the Naga People's Front would win the Outer Manipur. So no real change, dramatic change there in Manipur.
But there is a change, Rajdeep. In the national picture, the NDA is losing ground in key parts of the country. In the north, the NDA is down 37 seats at the moment. The India Alliance is up 42 seats at the moment in the north. In the eastern part of India, out of the 142 seats, the NDA is largely holding on. 85 leads for the NDA, 53 for the India Alliance. The NDA holding on in the north, losing ground in the, holding on in the east, losing ground in the north. In the west, the NDA is at 98, down 28 from the last time. Those gains going directly to the India Alliance, which is at 43, up 29 from the last time. In the south, the NDA is up 20 seats from the last time. They also have the TDP, which is a bulk of those, but 54. And the India Alliance is at 70, up 8 from the last time. In the Hindi heartland, the NDA is down 47 seats from the last time, 150. This is where a big story is being written. In Rajasthan, in Haryana, in Uttar Pradesh, in Jharkhand, in pockets of Bihar, a big story being written in the Hindi heartland. 47 losses at this moment for the NDA, Rajdeep.
So 47 losses there, compensated partly by a huge gain in Andhra Pradesh of 20 plus, a good gain in Telangana of about 6 plus, a good gain in Odisha of 10. So effectively, my 36, but this is NDA. You know, I want to make the distinction between NDA and BJP. The BJP is the one which is gaining in Telangana and in Odisha. But they are losing, remember, in West Bengal, and they are losing in the Hindi heartland, and they are losing partly as of now in Maharashtra.
So, Radeep, it's a case of missed opportunity also as far as India Alliance is concerned.
Like where?
Like Babu was in a lie in 2019 and later on also, and the fact that...
No, 1 minute, Rashid. Babu left the India. At no stage did Chandrababu Naidu want to reach out to India Alliance because he wanted to be with the winner, and everybody thought Narendra Modi is the winner. You see, Babu wants to be with the winner, so let's not blame the India. You know, it's very easy, Rashid, to blame the India Alliance for everything that goes wrong. You know, Preeti said they started their campaign late. She's absolutely right.
No, I'm just saying, I'm seeking a response. You look at Nitish Kumar, he had gone and met Navin Patnaik. And that time Navin Patnaik didn't respond positively.
Navin Patnaik did not want to join any alliance. Nitish Kumar was a loss.
No, okay, Rajdeep, if these numbers hold, when I say they started their campaign late?
The way to win and defeat Mr. Modi, he said, was 400 one-on-one seats, one-on-one fights. That never happened. Eventually, we have 358 multipolar fights. But at the end of the day, these are
an alliance which actually wasn't there.
Arithmetic and chemistry. In Maharashtra, strangely enough, there's chemistry. So Uddhav Thackeray, Sharad Pawar, and the Congress have worked in tandem. There was chemistry, Preeti, in between Akhilesh Yadav and Rahul Gandhi. But in Bihar, Tejasvi Yadav was a one-man show. The other parties just didn't come to the party. Now, Mamata Banerjee, you could argue, has decided to go on her own. It's worked for her. So, you see, there is no one-size-fits-all in this wonderful country called India. But we can have as many explanations.
So you said about bureaucrats knowing better.
Yes.
About 3 weeks back or 4 weeks back, a bureaucrat wrote to me. He said Maharashtra has always decided who will not become PM.
Yes.
his assessment was that Mahavikas Agadi will touch or cross 30. And the worst case for Kaka and Uddhav, as he put it, would be 26 to 28. The worst case was 28.
Okay, so you know that these are all.
What's called a strength calculator. What this will tell you is, on seats which the BJP has won in every election in the last 3 elections, the BJP is leading on 80 out of 94. The BJP's problem seems to be on seats which were relatively safe, seats which they won twice in the last 3 elections. The BJP currently leads on only 107 out of 164. So 17 out of 42 weak seats the BJP leads on, seats where the BJP has won only once in the last 3 elections. If I come now to the Congress's strength scanner, in the bastions that remain, the Congress is leading on 10 out of its 16 safe seats. And interestingly, 22 very weak seats, 22 seats that the Congress has never won in any election in the last 3 elections, including 2009, the Congress currently leads. The Congress is leading on 48 weak seats, seats which the party has won only once in the last 3 elections. 48 out of 146 weak seats the Congress is leading on. So it really does seem that Janta is helping the Congress do better than many in the Congress would have imagined. Their internal target, some had 75.
8 seat UP mein. Boss, this is the party which
Of
2 years
17,
ago,
50% strike
2
rate.
years ago won only 2 seats in the assembly, is suddenly lift. So it's either the Samajwadi Party lifting or a joint operation. You see,
No, can I be honest, Rajdeep?
Yes.
It is a Samajwadi Party, yes. It is a joint operation, yes. But in Uttar Pradesh, it's the people who fought this election and the parties
what was
came
the
too
main
late.
issue according to you?
What
What were they angry about?
It's just, it's distress, Rajdeep. People are troubled.
Define distress to me.
Rural distress. There are no jobs. Like I said in the beginning, if the biggest calling card for a party and the draw for it is free ration, then there is something wrong. And you see that easily on ground in rural UP.
And this is a real wake-up call for the double engine. You see, the state which the BJP we thought had dominated, had become almost a laboratory for the BJP, was UP. You know, they'd won 4 consecutive big elections there. This is the first setback of sorts since
here are my 2
2014.
questions.
Yes.
One is about that, good governance of
मुझे tough
Yogi
question
Adityanath.
tough question पूछते हो. Go ahead.
No. That about governance and, this thing, Gundagardi ka khatma by Yogi Adityanath. And second one was about over this build-up, over this Pran Pratishtha ceremony of Ram Temple, which opposition supposedly had boycotted. Thukra diya tha. It's
Sir,
not
Ram
simply
Mandir, I will
no
tell you very clearly, we all went down. It was not an issue. People were happy that the Ram Mandir was built, but they didn't want to vote on Ram Mandir. India ये देश है, boss. This is not China. That's why we are the greatest country in the world. Today, India is showing why the Indian voter, even the opposition should realize, do not go
But
before
can I
and
point
criticize,
something? Since you're mentioning the Ram Mandir, Rajdeep, at this moment, it's very interesting to note that in the Faizabad constituency,
And it was
Avadesh
expected.
Prasad of the
Expected.
Samajwadi Party is at least 5,000 votes ahead of Lalu Singh of the BJP in the seat of Ayodhya. At the home of the Ram Temple, the Samajwadi Party currently leads against Lalu Singh of the
And
BJP.
he's lost in the past, Lalu Singh. Samajwadi Party has a base there. And I'll tell you, there's a friend of mine, and I want to give credit to a young boy called Sayyid Kamran. This boy goes constituency by constituency. And he told me the other day, boss, jo bhi hona, Faizabad mein tough fight hai. And I said, Ayodhya mein? Ha, sir, maine dekha. And the boy spends 10 days. So salute you and all these young stringers who do great work on the ground to tell us more than all these big anchors who come
100%.
and parachute onto the ground. Mujhe nahi malum jitna aapko malum hai. So to Sayyid Kamran and others who was telling me, sir, Samajwadi Party is on the comeback trail in UP. Salute to you. You have picked up a trend. So there are lots of these trends that are coming
There were
out.
moments in this campaign where it felt that this election intelligence dashboard was too much effort and whether we'd have an adequate return on ratio. In how exciting the Indian voter has made this election, and the fact that you're seeing these numbers dance on the India Today screen, it just lightens my heart and makes it very, very joyous, because all the analytics that we built are helping you understand this election better than any other network can possibly ever dream of. The Congress now, which had hit 100 seats at one time, is leading at 94. So they're down 6 from that psychologically important 3-figure mark, but still much more than they had last time round. The Samajwadi Party at 33, the Trinamool at 30. The Trinamool had come down to 22 seats in the last Lok Sabha elections. They're sitting currently on 30 leads. Nobody complaining about EVMs or any garbad and ghotala. The DMK leading on 21. The Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray Shiv Sena leading on 10. The Sharad Pawar NCP leading on 8. Let's come here. The BJP at least 31 seats short at this moment of a full simple majority. The TDP leading on 16. The JDU on 14. Far from proving the Kamzor Kadi. Nitish Kumar and the Janata Dal United at this moment proving to be a force multiplier. Eknath Shinde Sena, the official Shiv Sena as it were, leading on 6. Lok Janshakti Party leading on all the seats that they had. Janata Dal Secular on 3, the RLD on 2, Jan Sena on 2. This is looking very exciting. And if you look at the others, where do the others go? So potentially, if they need, maybe the Akalis can come back. If they really want the Akalis to come back, so you can have the Akalis potentially coming back. YSRCP can't because maybe some of these independents can potentially join the India Alliance. So SKM is an NDA partner in any case, so they can come back. BJD now, I doubt they'll want. DMDK, maybe.
No, AIDMK.
But you're fighting it. Will you take that seat?
AIDMK will be more than happy to come back. मेरे को एक दो को मंत्री बना दो.
Because of DMK.
You see, now it will be that old style
Even
मंत्री.
DMDK.
You know, AIDMK is one, DMDK one. They are down to only one at the moment. Is AIDMK there in your list?
There at all.
I think that they.
No, that must be because they're not winning at this moment.
Let me just check.
No, they must not be winning. The analytics are live. They are.
Yeah, you're right. AIDMK is only leading in one.
Correct. So if we have this over here, the AIDMK currently is leading on 1 seat, which is the seat of Virudhunagar. So
DMDK. That is
the AIDMK alliance.
Alliance.
That's
Yes.
why the AIDMK didn't
Alliance,
show the
yes.
DMDK, which is Manikram
It was showing us
Tagore's scheme.
DMDK here.
Correct.
And at the moment, Rahul, that just to say, the NDA alliance is leading in Dharmapuri and Shivaganga. These are the two seats. Yes, in Karti Chidambaram seat at the moment and Dharmapuri, these are the two seats at the moment where the NDA alliance as of now is leading. It's as of now, and others is Virudhunagar where DMDK is leading.
Vijaykanth's son.
Vijaykanth's old party. Vijaykanth's passed away.
One of the other stories is coming from Amethi.
The gap is widening.
In Amethi, Kishori Lal is leading with 1,05,843. Priyanka Gandhi Vadra said, you see what happens when the results come out. We're winning both Amethi, we're winning both Raebareli.
What a story.
Yeah, that's a story.
Kishori
That's a
Lal,
story
who's
of
just a
Kishori Lal.
constituency manager for a long time, gets pitchfork in this heavy battle against the
Until the
mighty
night,
Smriti
Rajdeep, you and I were there
The
that
final
night,
word
if you
hasn't
remember.
been written and spoken yet, but at this moment,
it's very interesting. Preeti and I were together in Amethi when we went and met Kishori Lal the day after he was nominated.
Shocked.
And he was told at 10:30 in the night he gets a call from the party headquarters, "Aapko chunav ladna hai." And he said it took him 1 hour to digest what had been just said. He said, sir, and he has spent 40 years from Rajiv Gandhi's time there in Amethi. There's my old professor used to say, they also serve those who stand and wait. Maybe Kishori Lal is proof कि हर बंदे का एक ना एक दिन आता है. Kishori Lal,
But
and he told me also, यार जब तुम इंटरव्यू करोगे ना ज्यादा सवाल मत पूछना. I am not.
And he strategically, so Rajdeep sat there, strategically he made sure there was a Priyanka Gandhi poster at the back, one of Rahul Gandhi at the back, but Priyanka Gandhi really did campaign
She's
for him.
campaigned.
She went out on a limb
It was
for
a
him.
proxy battle actually.
Yeah.
The Gandhis fought for their honor. But I think
But what will it show? What will it show that if Kishori Lal defeats Smriti Irani, if these numbers hold, what does it show? She defeated Rahul Gandhi, huge win.
Giant killer.
5 years later, Kishori Lal could defeat her.
It's
this
a
is
giant
the
killer.
magic of this wonderful country called India. Salam to the Indians. You are the greatest country in the world. I keep saying it. Someone said, Rajdeep, you're being a patriot. I'm not a patriot. I am a true believer in Indian democracy. I've said this.
But there's still many rounds to
Democracy
go,
that-
Rajdeep. There are still many rounds to go. Even with this.
Whatever it is, Kishori
but
Lal
it's
is
a
giving a
fight.
fight
Is giving
to
a
a
fight.
big minister.
Yeah, true.
Is that
Giving
not
a
a story in India?
Giving
Which
a
other country will you see this in?
राजदीप आपके बारे में वही है कि आपके पैरों में घुंघरू बांध लो फिर आपकी चाल देख लो.
नहीं, हमको देशद्रोही बोलते हैं. यही तो इस कंट्री की ट्रेजेडी है. Because we have faith in democracy, हम देशद्रोही बन जाते हैं. Because we speak truth to power, we become देशद्रोही. We are all Indians.
We'll keep the emotions just for a moment. I look at the flipboard now. Just pay attention to this visualization very carefully. This is what the old Lok Sabha looked like, 343 for the NDA. Now, allow it to flip. And it shows you that the NDA is still comfortably in the lead. 295, 48 down though from the last time. The India Alliance at 229, up 102 from the last time. Given how close both formations are to the majority mark, it's a much more closely contested parliament where the nature of Indian politics changes if this trend holds till the end. I'm being told by Nagarjun Dwarkanath, our bureau chief from Karnataka, that leaders in Karnataka in the Congress formation have reached out to Chandrababu Naidu and asked him to come on board. I have no idea whether this is going to work. Where is T.S. Sudhi?
By the way,
T.S. Sudhi,
Karnataka, just to stop, before he said Karnataka results is not good.
Yeah,
21 to the NDA, 7 to India. So for all if they are going and contacting Chandrababu, first they should answer some questions on what's happening in Karnataka.
No, TDP sources are not confirming it. They said there is no contact with the Congress or anybody.
No,
from
Congress is
India.
trying to reach out.
Reach out, yeah. It may be still
Just
trying,
muddy the
even-
waters.
Yeah. trying to reach out.
Chandrababu's price goes
So
up.
tell me if they offer Chandrababu Prime Ministership. I want a straight answer to you.
Well,
If
I
they
am
offered-
not. I am not deciding for Chandrababu Naidu.
the way,
but at
Chandrababu was
7,
offered-
no, one minute, Rashid. But at 73, 74, Chandrababu Naidu may not do what he did in 1996, 97.
twice he was offered in a platter.
Yeah, he could very well say, "My son takes over in Andhra
Yes,
Pradesh,
that's what I'm
Amravati. I can move to the center." He could do that, but winning, he has contested what 17 seats. He may win about 16 of them. Will a 16 Lok Sabha MP party be made Prime Minister? I don't know.
अरे ये
Boss has
चंद्रशेखर को बना चुके हैं
Boss has
चंद्रशेखर को बना चुके हैं चंद्रशेखर को बना चुके हैं
Unlikely. I don't think so. I don't think so.
They're just
2024 is
fishing
not-
in
I
troubled
think we are
waters.
running ahead of
They're
us here.
fishing in troubled waters. Chandrababu Naidu's stock and price will go up. His market cap goes up. That's all that's happening here. But
Rahul,
I want to go across to Akshita Nandgopal. Akshita Nandgopal is in Vijayawada, where the TDP is at 125, up 102 from the last time. It also shows you, Sudhir, the mercurial nature of Indian politics. Arsh se farsh. 102 up from the last time. YSRCP 126 down from the last time. Only at 24.
This is a
that guy Prashant Kishore said, "I'll have gobar on my face if the YSRCP wins." There's no reason for him to do that.
Absolutely. I mean, Prashant Kishore, whatever he said has come true.
But on a, no,
This
no,
is a
no, not
complete
at the
reverse.
national level.
Not at
No,
national
no,
Not
I'm
at the
talking about
national
Andhra. I'm
level
talking
at
about Andhra. He said that Jagan Mohan Reddy is going to get a resounding defeat. That's precisely what has happened. This is a complete reversal in a sense of the 2019 verdict, which shows that, you know, the arrogance that was put out by the YSR, displayed by the YSRCP, has actually come back to bite them. Because Chandrababu Naidu was written off as someone who has failed, and this is his last election. He has shown that he still has staying
You know,
power.
the one word that Sudhir used is actually coming right through this country. People who have taken the voter for granted are being taught a lesson. In Maharashtra, you took the voter for granted, you broke two parties, Shiv Sena and the NCP. You're seeing it to some extent in Uttar Pradesh, where you put up any candidate and thought this was a lamppost election, it will be one on the name of Mr. Modi and Yogi Adityanath. You, to some extent, have seen individual candidates who, you know, believe that they are larger than life, and therefore perhaps lost their connect with the voters. They are being taught a lesson in different parts of the country. In Rajasthan, you put up a chief minister who clearly was not taking the entire party along with him, and the BJP is paying a price for it.
So
in Haryana, for example, you put up a chief minister who clearly there was anti-incumbency. You have staved it off a bit by changing him at the last moment, but it was there. So I think there's a message, Rahul. Arrogance does not pay in Indian politics.
Arrogance never pays in any
Sorry?
field.
sidelining of regional satraps
Whatever, you know, whether it's right from top to bottom in this election.
B.V. Srinivas joins us, president of the Indian Youth Congress, one of the staunch backers of Rahul Gandhi and one of the more visible young faces of the Congress. Mr. Srinivas, when we look at the national picture, the Congress slightly short of 100 but substantially better than the last time. What are you making of the trends that have emerged so far?
देखिए राहुल जी काफी सीट्स बहुत कम मार्जिन से अभी भी चल रहा है, इंक्लूडिंग कर्नाटक में 6 सीट मैक्सिमम 5,000 के लीड में चल रहा है। ये आधे आने वाला 1 घंटे में ऐसे तमाम स्टेटों में सीट्स चल रहा है, लगभग 40 सीट ऐसे है। ये कभी भी कुछ भी हो सकता है। उम्मीद है ज्यादा सीट इंडिया गठबंधन जीतेगा। जरूर सरकार बनाने का सारा पूरा देश का जनता के चेहरा में
नहीं, but
बदलाव
Srinivas साहब, that's not
चाहता
how
था, वो
distribution
बदलाव
happens,
जरूर-
right? So 1 second. जो आप बोल रहे हैं ना 5,000 से कम के मार्जिन पे, at this second there are 61 seats out of 543 where the margin is less than 5,000. The India Alliance is leading on 25, 32 for the NDA. तो आप बोल रहे हैं कि बाजी आपकी तरफ आएगी, पर बाजी कुछ हद तक थोड़ा उधर भी जा सकती है. So it's like virtually evenly divided. ऐसा नहीं है कि सारी NDA ही जीत रही है जो आप खींच लेंगे. It's quite evenly divided. The NDA is winning this election, much lesser than they would have anticipated, but they're still winning and you're still losing this election.
नहीं, अभी भी आप देख सकते हैं नंबर काफी जो अभी भी आप लोग जो दिखा रहा है अलग अलग चैनल से अलग अलग दिखा रहे हैं, इलेक्शन कमीशन का भी जो दिखा रहा है, टोटली मेरे को लगता है आप मैक्सिमम और 1 घंटा में देखे ये कितने नंबर से अभी इंडिया गठबंधन का सीट किस तरीके का अभी जो क्लोज मार्जिन से जो सारा
श्रीनिवास जी इन योर होम स्टेट, श्रीनिवास भाई इन योर होम स्टेट
मार्जिन से लीड, वो भी
नहीं बट श्रीनिवास जी
कम मार्जिन से लीड में है।
नहीं कम मार्जिन है, लेकिन आपके होम स्टेट कर्नाटका में एनडीए बीजेपी 21 सीट में आगे एनडीए और इंडिया 7, इवन डीके सुरेश इज लूजिंग at the moment from Bengaluru rural. So in your home state only you all are losing. You are not pulling those states जहां आप power में हैं. तीनों state, Himachal you are 0 out of 4, Telangana you are 4 out of 17, and in Karnataka you are 7 out of 28. आप ही के state में आप हार रहे हैं.
नहीं, जरूर मेरा स्टेट का ही मैं बोल रहा हूं. मैंने अभी पहले यही बात बोला, बहुत काफी लो मार्जिन में चल रहा है. वो सीट्स 100% कन्वर्ट होगा. क्यों? तो वो जो उनके बेल्ट है वो उसका जो काउंटिंग चल रहा है, जो अभी आने वाला जो एक भी 2-3 राउंड में आपको जरूर वो कम से कम 13 सीट हमने पहले भी बोला था, 12 से 13 वो जरूर वो लीड का कर्नाटक में वो कवर हो जाएगा, आपको दिखेगा. और जो तेलंगाना का बात किया, तेलंगाना में भी सेम सिचुएशन चल रहा है. आप देख सकता है इलेक्शन कमीशन से लेके आपका भी रिपोर्ट है, सारे टीवी चैनल का रिपोर्ट है. बहुत मार्जिन का जो सीट्स चल रहा है वो 100% वो कांग्रेस के तरफ जरूर वो कन्वर्ट होगा, या 2 स्टेट में जो साउथ का मैं बात कर रहा हूं.
But the good thing is, B.Y. Srinivas has been one of the feisty, outgoing.
Sir, just to clarify, look at how quickly I said Congress leading in 5 in Telangana. Immediately from Revanth Reddy's office, we are leading in 8. Please correct yourself. Sorry, Revanth ji. So there, I had to send him. I'm glad you're watching the program. So it's 8 all.
The amazing thing is, we're getting messages from some of the senior most ministers in the Modi cabinet and people around them asking for things on the election intelligence dashboard. We're getting messages from top Congress leaders asking for things on the India Today intelligence dashboard. So it's essentially the only place which is a melting pot like Indian democracies, like this country, is of different points of view. What I want to tell our viewers right now is that the Sensex has collapsed. There's a bloodbath of sorts on the Sensex. 4,600 and down, one BSC, the NSE is down 1,450.
Shankar, what does that show? The markets, is it that they're saying they're worried about the uncertainty that could follow? Why does it, the markets seem to be a better indicator at times as to what lies ahead?
So there's a technical reason and there is a strategic reason. The technical reason is that the FIIs had not wound up the shorts that they had, and they were holding on to almost 60% of the shorts. So now that is playing out. The second part is that there is a genuine perception in the market that a less than majority will bring chaos into the policy domain. So that is there. The other thing, Rahul, more interesting is for 2 years now we've said that DIIs, the domestic investors, know better than the foreign investors. Turns out on this day the foreign investors knew better.
No, or they were punting and their punt came right. Not necessarily that they knew better.
It's the wisdom of crowds.
Think that anything can happen in elections, it's better to stay away.
Why wait? And the Desi Dadas think
because it's not their money. They're managing funds for all these.
They have to hedge. They can't take that.
Okay. So
GVL Narasimha Rao joins us. Bloodbath in the markets. The NDA, even at this moment, ahead of the majority mark, but nowhere close to BJP being 272 by itself. NDA at 297, down 46. The BJP tally for the last several minutes stuck at 242, 31 short of a majority. GVL Narasimha Rao, you are winning this match, but you're not winning the way you would have liked to win. What do you think really happened?
Yeah, Rahul, we will analyze the reasons for the underperformance compared to our own expectations or exit poll projections. But the fact needs to be emphasized and repeatedly stated that this is a 3rd time consecutive win. If you win a World Cup for the 3rd time in a row, though with a reduced margin, it doesn't lessen its significance. When was the last time that any party or any alliance won a 3rd time victory in this country? I think for the last 6 decades, this has not happened in India. Certainly, so therefore this victory for the NDA, we have fought, the entire NDA fought under the leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji, and therefore whether the NDA wins a 320, 300, it does not really matter. This will still be a historic verdict. And this is a cohesive
verdict, no doubt,
alliance.
Mr. No, sir, it's a historic verdict, but it will be But it will reduce your options. You wanted one nation, one election. You wanted to ram through certain legislation. That won't be easy with these numbers. Is there some humility today that maybe when you said 400 par, you took the voter for granted? Thoda humility would have helped.
Not really, Rajdeep. 400 par was a target, was a lakh. We knew 370 for the BJP was almost an impossible ask. But we still went ahead with this to keep a very high target. And we did everything. We made our best effort. Look at the manner in which Honorable Prime Minister campaigned, Amit Shah ji campaigned, Mr. Nadda campaigned. Unlike the opposition, we made much greater efforts with all the humility. You've seen how Prime Minister has shown humility towards ordinary people, workers. Sorry?
What did you get wrong in the Hindi heartland? Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, Haryana?
Now, you see, honestly speaking, I see a very divergent kind of an result. You see Madhya Pradesh, which is adjoining Uttar Pradesh, we are sweeping 29 out of 29. We are doing extremely well in some states. We are winning all the seats in Uttarakhand, but in Uttar Pradesh, so there is certainly local factors that have played.
No, but GVL Narasimha Rao, I want to show you on the map of India. GVL, you've been a cephalogist in your past life. Look at the map of India. You've largely swept Rajasthan and you've largely swept Gujarat and Madhya Pradesh. Look at Maharashtra. You know, this whole Sam, Dam, Dand, Bhed kind of policy making where you break parties thinking, okay, we can swing it. You know, just do whatever it takes, win at any cost. Look at how much grey there is in Maharashtra. The grey signal seats which have not been won by the NDA. The saffron, Konkan belt. Some parts of northern Maharashtra. That's where you won. There are large parts of Maharashtra where your policy of breaking parties hasn't worked. The voters are speaking to you and they're speaking very loudly, GVL.
No, Rahul, I think all these factors we'll have to study because when you're an alliance partner who's been with you for decades, when Shiv Sena deserted us, when they left us after winning assembly elections together, what option does it have? We'll certainly have to go into elections to strengthening our own alliance base. And that's the reason why we went in alliance with other parties, breakaway groups. It was not by choice. Had Shiv Sena remained with the BJP, you wouldn't have seen this history unfolding itself. So as a political party, having lost power and Shiv Sena breakup of Shiv Sena presented as an opportunity, and as any party would do, we utilize that opportunity. In Bihar, you see, many people predicted a rout in Bihar as well. Look at the numbers now. We're doing exceptionally well in Bihar. So states, you see, Bihar, you do exceptionally well. Uttar Pradesh, you have done not as remarkably as we had expected. Except Uttar Pradesh and West Bengal.
But remarkably as expected in Uttar Pradesh, you've taken big hits. Mr. GVL Narasimha Rao, let me show you in Uttar Pradesh, in the direct fights between the BJP and the Shiv Sena and the Samajwadi Party, the BJP is actually trailing when I last checked. Even now, 30 seats. The Samajwadi Party leads seats which are direct SP versus BJP face-offs out of 56. The SP's win ratio in Uttar Pradesh is 54. Your win ratio in these direct duels is only 46. Akhilesh Yadav is getting the better of you.
Yes, Rahul, I think as per data we have so far, and generally having looked at data from the studios for many years, it's not likely to change drastically from now on, because you've already got 7-8 rounds of counting done. But one reason possible, I'm only speculating at this time, SP Congress combination was not a formidable combination against the BJP. The last time SP BSP combination was far more formidable, and this kind of a result was possible in 2019, but we weathered that storm. But in this election, if this has happened, it's only possible if a large base of BSP vote has shifted towards the Samajwadi Party and Congress combined. And what could be the motivation for it is something that we'll have to, whether it has happened, and if so, what could be the reason? Is the propaganda.
Okay, I'm going to stop you for a moment, GVL.
Propaganda by the Congress and SP.
Okay, I'm going to stop you. We are getting celebrations in Bengal. We are also getting celebrations in Andhra, where Akshita Nandgopal, our star reporter anchor, is waiting. Akshita, you know that part of the country better than most, Vijayawada. And there is quite a story playing out there, because suddenly Andhra Pradesh is going to play a key role almost 20 years after it last did so. Because these numbers, if they hold, Chandrababu Naidu will be an important ally. What's the mood out there? Does Andhra Pradesh see that back to Babu, with Amravati as the capital?
Well, it's a mega comeback. It's a mega comeback. I'm just kilometers away from Amravati, but I'm in the TDP office, and you can see the kind of celebrations here as well, Rajdeep. There are scores of TDP workers who've gathered here. Many of them have been waiting for quite some time to have a chance to speak also to both you and Rahul. Give you their message essentially. Tell me, are you happy with the results that have come in? You got a sweep by Chandrababu.
So happy with the results which has been released till now. People have again trusted the Chandrababu Naidu's governance.
But why? Why has Chandrababu Naidu been chosen?
No, actually, past 5 years, there is no development, there is no capital, there is no education. People are 100% fed up with this psycho ruling. That's why 100.
So, whatever the promises which we have made to the people of Andhra, we are going to fulfill, and we are going to make one more top state in the world.
Okay.
See, we came from the Karyakartas.
So we came from very different places, from Chennai, Bangalore to vote, and we are still here. See, my friends came from USA to be here and see the election result. CBN is a very visionary leader. He will make AP very good. The Jagan, who is ruling from these last 5 years, he destroyed everything. And this win is very good win for us. It's very good for us.
We are waiting for CBN 4.0, and CBN is going to rebuild.
One
last thing. We are coming with a very good capital. Remember the name Amravati. This will be the great capital. This will be the great capital in India. This is a very good capital in India.
CBN 4.0 is the message here. Chandrababu Naidu is expected to come down here in some time from now. Just move aside, please. I'll just show them quickly what's happening outside as well, Rajdeep, and then I'll toss it back to you in the studio. Because Chandrababu Naidu, Nara Lokesh, all are going to be coming down here for a mega celebration of sorts in about 1 hour from now. And you can see the crowds that have gathered all across this entire area, all watching the results very, very closely. They couldn't be more thrilled right now with the numbers that are coming in, both in the assembly and in the parliament election, because they're seeing right now a complete sweep by Chandrababu Naidu and co, because both Janasena and BJP have also ensured that they've kind of carried their weight in this mega alliance. Back to you in the studio.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead, Preeti.
All right. Akshita, at least for now, it does seem that the question of the capital is settled.
Yeah. Absolutely. Amravati for the capital?
Yes,
All of you?
100%.
100%?
100% Amravati.
Chandrababu Naidu.
CM Babu or PM? They're saying PM Babu or CM Babu?
The interesting part is that Chandrababu Naidu wanted a state capital. He may get the national capital.
Let's not go ahead of ourselves, but let's look at some of the key candidates. And, I'm looking at Omar Abdullah, big one, trailing at the moment in Baramulla. Remember, he is taking on all three trailing. My friend engineer Rashid may be leading at the moment. That's my sense. Remember, he's fighting it from jail. So he may be. I'll check that. This is wrong. Okay. I for a moment, at the moment, we'll check that again. Sorry about that. So we'll check Baramulla again. We'll find out who exactly is leading.
Engineer Rashid is leading from jail.
Is that clear? Engineer Rashid is, because he wasn't there on the screen. Rahul is confirming that that's the case. Let me look at the other one, the big battle of Maharashtra, because it's been going up and down. Supriya Sule is the one that I wanted to look at the moment. But we have Shatrughan Sinha, shotgun. Good day for the actors. Shatrughan Sinha at the moment is leading in Asansol. Tough fight, but he is leading at the moment by about 21,000 votes there in Asansol. Let's take a look at Shivraj Singh Chauhan is leading. He was expected to lead at the moment. Anything that stands out for anyone? Anyone wants any particular candidate? Please let us know. We'll try and get. You want Shashi Tharoor? Shrikant Shinde, son of the Chief Minister, is leading at the moment. Pretty healthy lead. So he was expected to win, and he is leading there in.
Margin for Sanjeev Balian, Rajdeep?
Sanjeev Balian.
Trailing.
Sanjeev Balian.
Muzaffarnagar. What's the margin?
That's in Muzaffarnagar, and he is trailing at the moment by about 21,000 votes to Harendra Singh Malik of the SP. Remember, the SP is having a terrific day out. Sani Ghosh, actor. There in Jadavpur, and she is winning big, 56,000 votes. She's one of those.
She's taken over from Abhijit.
That's right. So she's one of those.
President.
Look at the 4 Bangalore seats.
Anybody wants? Okay, the
Bangalore seats.
well, more than 4 Bangalore seats at the moment.
There is Shashi there.
Shobha Karandla.
Shashi Tharoor. Okay, Shashi Tharoor at the moment is trailing at the moment. Shashi Tharoor is trailing by about 13,000. So this is going, but this is the key here.
Yeah.
The left candidate is picking up 90,000 votes. So your strong left candidate, Shashi Tharoor, could be getting a lot of votes taken away from him. As a result, Panyan, Ravindran, Rajiv Chandrasekhar could be one of the big winners if these numbers hold. But remember, these are not final numbers. At 13,000 with slow counting, anything is possible. Any other names? Any other interesting names that you all have?
Shivraj Singh's margin?
Meanwhile, I'm going to try and see if we can find Supriya Sule somewhere. Here you are. Supriya Sule at the moment in that big battle for Baramati. Very slow counting, but she is leading by 12,000. So this, with these numbers, can still go to the wire. These are the slow counting seats which could go right down. Anyone else wants a specific name? If you have a specific name, it's easier for us to tell you about a name. Any name?
Tejasvi Surya.
Tejasvi Surya, okay. Let's look at whether Tejasvi Surya there in Bangalore South. How is Tejasvi Surya doing? Leading, and he should be winning in this comfortable bastion. Oh, he's winning by a big margin. He's over 1 lakh votes already. So Tejasvi Surya appears to be almost home and die.
Rural seat, Bangalore rural.
DK Suresh.
DK Suresh. I'm presuming he will be under D.
Manjunath.
Let me see if DK Suresh, we can pick up.
Rails.
DK Suresh is trailing, and this is a big defeat if this for DK Shiv Kumar, brother of DK Shiv Kumar. Margin still low, 9,000. Remember, and this is one of the biggest constituencies. Sorry, no, not 9,000. 1 lakh, over 1 lakh at the moment. Manjunath is leading, but he is a terrific cardiologist. Everyone in Bengaluru told me the best doctor that you can get, Padma Award winner.
How much is
son-in-law of
Digvijay
Devendra.
Singh
The
trailing
Minister
by?
Anurag Thakur is speaking at this moment. Let's listen and get a voice from the Modi cabinet and see what Anurag Thakur is saying.
सरकार चाहिए, एक ईमानदार दमदार नेता चाहिए, और आज जो दुनिया की उम्मीदें भारत से हैं उन पे खरा उतरने के लिए ये निरंतरता और स्थिरता बहुत आवश्यक है। और जो देश की अर्थव्यवस्था लगातार आगे बढ़ रही है उसको और गति देने के लिए, विकासात्मक कार्यों को गति देने के लिए इस सरकार का, एनडीए की सरकार का फिर से सत्ता में आना आवश्यक था और जनता ने उसके पक्ष में मतदान किया। कितनी सीट एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हैं आप? आंकड़े सबके सामने आ रहे हैं और मुझे लगता है जब तक पूरे आंकड़े आएंगे शानदार रिजल्ट एक बार फिर होगा, क्योंकि तीसरी बार सरकार बनाना अपने आप में कई बार चुनौती होता है, लेकिन असंभव को भी संभव करके दिखाएंगे।
एक तरफ इंडिया ब्लॉक भी काफ़ी खुश नज़र आ रहा है, उनको लग रहा है कि उनकी भी काफ़ी इम्प्रूवमेंट हुई है पहले से, और उनकी भी एक मीटिंग होने जा रही है, कैसे देखते हैं?
देखिए, जहां एक और भारतीय जनता पार्टी 250 सीटों पार करने दिख रही है, वहीं दूसरी ओर कांग्रेस अभी 100 सीटों के आसपास भी नहीं दिख रही। अपने आप में काफ़ी गैप है, और कुल मिला के जो हमारा एनडीए गठबंधन है उसको भारी बढ़त बाकियों से बनाई हुई और आगे भी बनी रहेगी।
लगातार 5वीं जीत की तरफ बढ़ रहे हैं, तो जिम्मेदारी और बढ़ गई आपकी?
मैं जनता का आभारी हूं जिन्होंने 5वीं बार हमीरपुर संसदीय क्षेत्र से अब तक भारी बढ़त दिलाई है। आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने, आदरणीय राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष।
Just a couple of farmaishes. One was Digvijay Singh, which was Preeti's farmaish. She went there and saw it. Preeti, the gap, he's trailing by 30,000. So it's a fight. It's not a completely one-sided, but he is trailing by 30,000. There was Kirti
Rajdeep,
Azad's brother Yashovardhan Azad has requested that if he can tell us what is the status
I
of
want
Kirti
to tell
Azad.
our viewers that Rajdeep is getting
right
all
at
these
the end.
farmaishes from everywhere for the election intelligence
Right at
dashboard.
the end.
And we should start charging
sir,
now.
there,
for every
Kirti
single
Azad was there.
farmaish.
Go
Who
back.
do you want to know?
Kirti Azad.
Go
Kirti
back
Azad at the moment.
there, sir, right.
Rana.
Bottom, I'm getting old. Very old.
Arey, now I thought the results will enthuse you and you'll
Nothing.
be...
40,000. 40,000. He's leading
but
by
he's up
40,000
against the
over
former
Dilip Ghosh.
state chief of the BJP.
So, and remember, Kirti Azad is interesting, Rahul. Left the BJP after he had won from Bihar, then went to Jharkhand last time on a Congress ticket, lost. Still continued and contested and spent 6 weeks without knowing a word of Bengali. But has contested there and could win. You know,
The big story of this election is coming from West Bengal, where the Trinamool at this moment is 8 up from the last time.
From last time.
From last time, they were at 22. Look at the swath. They're holding on to presidency, including going up in the north, snatching some away from the BJP. 30 leads for the Trinamool. Trinamool is one of the big winners from the trends that we have so far.
And the BJP's biggest blows, therefore, are West Bengal, where they expected to grow,
and Uttar
Pradesh, where they've really declined sharply.
You know, the anti-incumbency against local MPs in Uttar Pradesh coming to haunt the BJP in a big way. 38 for the BJP. Look at how, if you look at how blocked out, so in the more impoverished parts of the state, you can see
block out in Purvanchal.
very clear signs of anti-incumbency. They've done well in the western parts. In Awadh, it's a mixed bag. In the eastern part of Uttar Pradesh, the BJP getting hammered. This is the biggest blow to the BJP. 36 leads. 26 down from the last time. One of the heroes is Akhilesh Yadav on his cycle, 33, the Congress at 8.
You know what is going to happen, irrespective of who forms a government, and we've gone on speculating, I still believe advantage Narendra Modi ji and the BJP to have the hat-trick, but you're going to finally have a parliament which will be relatively even. So the opposition will have a voice. You can't now ramrod farm laws. You can't ramrod one nation, one election. We were just discussing the prospect of one nation, one election means, Rahul, we will only come with an EI once in 5 years. Ab to kam se kam, every state election mein aapka EI will get even better, and you can, show the world.
Show me Jharkhand state.
No,
they're interesting.
I have some data cuts I haven't shown yet. You know, these were data visualization that I thought we'll never get to. I thought this is just for the interest of data geeks like us. But it's very fascinating. I'm being able to pull it out because we're still in the game and the counting is still on. So, the BJP had 191 candidates with criminal cases, either serious criminal or criminal cases. You look at how only 26% of them are winning. The Congress had 143 candidates with cases against them, either serious or this. Only 29 are winning. So 29% are winning. That shows how that's not gone down well. If I look at money power, is there a link between the assets a candidate has and his propensity to win? So in the BJP, there were 56 candidates who had assets of more than 50 crore rupees. 31 of them are winning. There were 37 candidates with less than 1 crore declared assets. 12 of them are winning. In the Congress, there were 40 candidates with more than 50 crore rupees as assets. 10 of them are winning. 7 with less than 1 crore rupees of assets. 7 are winning. So we can do this live.
My only problem with assets is none of these politicians declare their assets honestly. You know, when I see some of them who are worth more than 1,000 crores saying, "No, हमारे पास एक ambassador car है और 12 या 20 crore है," ये सब how the public है ये सब जानती है. But yes, it's very interesting.
Let's look at the male-female breakup. Okay, so the BJP had BJP has 205 candidates who are male who are currently in the lead. The BJP has 35 female candidates out of 70, so half the women are winning. For the Congress, out of the 287 candidates we are tracking, 85 are male who are leading and 10 women out of 41 are leading.
And you might actually, because the Trinamool Congress had given a lot of women seats, as had the Biju Janata Dal also had, but they're not doing well. You will have more than 50 to 60 women, at least strong women in this parliament. So always good to see.
Here's something to think about. The BJP pulled a lot of defectors in, and I know there's a lot of resentment at the lower levels of the party. So I'm tracking now defectors. For the first time on your screen right now, the defector tally. 43 BJP candidates who we are tracking who were defectors in this election from other parties. Only 14 of them at this moment are in the lead.
So that's less than 33%.
If this is the way it stays, the strike rate of the defectors is substantially lower than the strike rate of the regular organic BJP candidate.
And you're quite right, Rahul. A minister in one of the BJP state government said, मैंने आपको कहा था ना, ये दल बदलू को लाते हैं, it cost them. They were hoping for this. Is the I'll tell you one thing. There are people in the BJP rejoicing at this verdict. This is what they wanted, because now you've got, like it or not, a prime minister who's slightly diminished, whatever the numbers are. Therefore, Mr. Modi they still trust, but they would prefer a Mr. Modi who's more accommodative, more consensual. That's the reality. Let's be honest. These numbers will give the opposition a voice. Mr. Modi will still be prime minister, but at the same time, the opposition will have to...
It's a very different parliament.
Yeah, the BJP will have to also find ways to, accommodate chief ministers, to accommodate some of their major ministers. So it might just be the ideal verdict that you need in a strange way. The market will realize soon that maybe this is the best way to run India.
The markets are getting hammered at this moment.
That's because the market went up with Pradeep Gupta to 400.
The story of this election is coming from rural India, where the NDA is at 191. That's down 34 from the last Lok Sabha election. So the BJP has 149 such seats. The India Alliance's biggest gains are coming from rural seats, 140, out of which the Congress has 53, the Samajwadi Party has 28, the Trinamool has 18. So the biggest gains coming from rural India. If you look at urban India is still in thrall of the NDA largely. NDA at 36 leads, just 3 down from the last time. The India Alliance at 20 leads, 5 up from the last time. Only 4 of those, only 4 urban pockets are Congress seats, 6 are Trinamool seats. The NDA is holding on in urban India, losing ground in rural India. Dinesh Gundu Rao joins us, senior Congress leader from Karnataka. Mr. Gundu Rao, I'll show you where the Congress's tally stays at this moment. If we look at the breakup of the Congress tally, the India Alliance is up 101. The Congress at 94, 6 short of a double century. But you'd be delighted, given what the exit polls were saying, you'd be delighted at how the numbers stack up at this moment.
Yeah, Rahul. I mean, the exit poll was something which we could not believe. And when we heard those numbers, we were surprised and shocked. But, we've been seeing this throughout the election, that we've been not just fighting the Bharatiya Janata Party, but we were fighting the establishment also. We were fighting the institutions. We had a media which was partisan, and we had an election commission which was compromised. So it was a big battle. And I think looking at the numbers that are coming up now, let's wait for the final figures. But I feel that this is something that is good that has happened to our country, because the narrative that had been built up in the last 10 years, this divisive politics that was taking place in this country, and the appropriation of institutions that was happening blatantly, I think for that the people have answered. And I was just hearing what you were saying, and I must say that the rural India has realized what is going wrong with India than the urban India. The less educated, the less rich, or the less knowledgeable people, whom we may say are less knowledgeable in terms of education, they have, I think, given a clear message to the country that what is good for India, it is not India versus Bharat. It is India is Bharat, and Bharat is India. Don't divide it, and don't create these false barriers and false walls, and try to create so much of hatred amongst each other. So I think the message is good. Let's hope for the final numbers, and once the final numbers are out, maybe it could be that NDA may not be able to form a government, and the India Alliance may be in a position to form a government. But whatever it may be, I think India's democracy is thriving. A strong message by the people.
Let me pull that out. Dinesh Gundu Rao,
this kind of politics
you fancy yourself as an election strategist as well, so explain this. At this moment, the BJP at 241, TDP at 16, JDU at 14, Congress at 94, SP at 33, Trinamool at 30, DMK at 21. Sarkar kaise banaoge, sir?
Thank you.
No, I am just saying let the final numbers come out, and then we can take a final call on what will be the final, or what will be the true picture of government formation. Because in politics, we got to wait till the end. But even if we cannot form a government, I think there's going to be a very strong opposition. And this ramrodding of policies and not being bothered of what the opposition feels or what the people feel, and appropriating all institutions and misusing it. We saw the kind of misuse that has happened. You've seen it, we've seen it. How opposition parties have been targeted, how opposition voices have been targeted, people who raise their voices against the government from the non-governmental sectors,
civil society, they've been harassed, they've been troubled, they've been put in jail.
Preeti has a question. We've got two more guests, Adil Singh Boparai and...
Adil Singh Boparai and Javeer Shergill joining us. Javeer, you know, there was so much that we spoke of through this election, the silent vote. Modi ka settled vote hai. But it does seem, Javeer Shergill, the silent vote has spoken. We'll come down to the numbers of Punjab later.
Preeti, good afternoon. Thank you for having me on your show. One or two opening remarks. In Hindi, there is a saying, Jo jeeta wahi Sikandar. The writing on the wall is clear. The Sikandar of 2024 is Bharatiya Janata Party in NDA. Yesterday, Mr. Rahul Gandhi was listening to the song of Sidhu Moosewala 295. But I can tell you with certainty, after 2 p.m., he will listen to
standing on 295 right now.
After he sees on your TV channel.
The NDA is now exactly 295.
One second. Let me complete. Now, at least we are 295. Mr. Rahul Gandhi will switch from Sidhu Moosewala to Pankaj Udas after 2 o'clock when he will see PM is swearing in for the third time as the Prime Minister of country. 3 facts cannot be shaken or changed. 1, NDA is forming the government. 2, Prime Minister is coming for the third time. 3, Congress will remain sitting in the opposition benches. The tragedy is, if Congress is happy celebrating the jump from 50 to 90 seats, then God bless them, and we need such kind of opposition. Today, the grievance against the Bharatiya Janata Party seems to be, yes, you are coming first, but instead of 99%, why are you not getting 90%? BJP is celebration ready. BJP is government formation ready, and the goal will beat in the BJP.
Javeer Shergill, you know, sometimes, you know, those who switch from one party to the other are often the most, have the greatest animosity against their old party. But the truth of the matter is, when you told the world 400 par, when the exit poll said what they were, you know, is there a bit of humility? You're relying on the likes of Chandrababu Naidu and Nitish Kumar to take you over 272 at the moment. So is there any humility, any lesson, or is it going to be, you haven't got 90, you're ending up, you know, you haven't got a 90% in this election. Some humility might be helpful, Javeer?
Mr. Rajdeep Sardesai, I'm a trained lawyer and a spokesperson who speaks on facts and not on personal animosities. I don't have a personal animosity against the Congress. I have an animosity about Congress's pro-China, pro-naxalism, pro-this wealth distribution, pro-this extreme left ideology. Yes,
Javeer,
I have
as
an
I bring in
animosity
Adil as well,
present-day ideology. Number
Javeer,
one.
as I bring in
Number
Adil
two.
as well, for a moment reflect, because you've also been very vocal on the BJP's campaign in Punjab. You've been very vocal about it. Now, as I look at least where the trends suggest, the BJP is nowhere where Punjab is concerned.
Are you asking me?
Yeah, Javeer, that's for you, and we'll bring in Adil.
Yes. Okay, Preeti, I'm not going to mince words and call spade a spade. The Punjab results as of now at 12:30 are not up to BJP's expectations or up to BJP's mark. BJP hoped to penetrate the rural and the urban belt at a much higher percentage than it did with the Akali Dal. Number 3, and I want to say I bow down my head to the electorate and utmost humility and humbleness. 3 seats, Khadur Sahib, Faridkot and Simranjeet Singh Mann winning shows that the winds are not blowing in the right direction in Punjab. These 3 candidates winning shows that there's a larger problem which is somewhere we are not able to gauge.
No, so
These
let's
3
spend a
gentlemen
moment
have
on that.
openly called for a separate state.
Adil has been waiting for
let's
half an
look
hour.
at this. This is a very big story. You know, you've got an extremist Khalistani who's lodged in jail. This is very problematic. Amrit Pal Singh, currently in jail in Assam, 180,000 votes. As an independent candidate, he's leading over Kulbir Zira of the Congress and Laljit Bhullar of the Aam Aadmi Party. This is very problematic. He's a dangerous guy, this Amrit Pal Singh. If you look also at Sangrur.
I think Simranjeet Singh Mann is back.
Yeah, you know, these are extremist elements. No, fortunately at this moment, Gurmeet Singh here is ahead.
leading.
But that was close as well. It's quite a close fight. At this moment, he's winning. But, you know, getting this guy in Khadur Sahib into parliament is bad enough.
Rahul, I'll just
Adil Singh Boparai.
I'll ask Adil Singh Boparai, though, the question which is, you know, the fact, Adil Singh, there is something right in what is being also said by Javeer there. the BJP is still well ahead of you. They are 2-1 ahead of you in terms of their individual seats. The Congress leading in about 90, the BJP well ahead in over 240 seats. So the BJP is party number one. They will form the government. You may be a strong opposition, but they will form the government now.
60 seconds, Mr. Sardesai. Firstly, this is an election which is going to go down to the last wire. So therefore, the BJP should not count their chickens before they hatch. Point number one. Point number two, we were fighting against all odds. We were fighting an establishment. We were fighting against institutionalized BJP control. We were fighting against an election commission, or at least urging them to take action, which was in comatose. We had our accounts frozen on the eve of the elections. We had our chief ministers being arrested on the eve of the elections. The BJP, despite their monetary power, despite their bureaucratic power, despite their media power, we've been able to take the narrative away from their polarizing tactics to the Constitution of India. I think that is the key takeaway.
No, but surely numbers matter in politics. I agree on the narrative. What about the numbers? You know, if you had 120, you would have a little bit more talking points.
Certainly they do. But no, the story is not out. The story is not complete. The story is not complete. Don't
you actually believe you can reach 120? You actually believe you can reach 120?
We do sincerely believe that by about 3 p.m. the picture will be much clearer. We do believe.
You know, I can do the maths right away. You don't need to wait that long. I can do the maths right now. There are 13 seats where the margin is less than 1,000. These are evenly distributed between the NDA and the India Alliance. So it's an equal distribution here. If we go to seats where the margin is less than 5,000 between the winner and the runner-up, at this moment there are 56 such seats, again virtually equally split between the India and the NDA, 26. If I look at seats which are less than 10,000 at this moment, there are 125 such seats where the margin is less than 10,000, again equally distributed. So the chance of, just statistically, the chance of this distribution skewing in one favor, so it's not lopsided at the base. So from now, for this to swing in one way, that would really be Rahul Verma quite difficult. So anybody, you know, this is an important moment. Let's spend some time. No matter which category of seats I look at, even if I look at seats where the margin is less than 10,000 votes, 125 such seats, they're almost equally divided. Yeah. Therefore, it's not going to go, if you're hoping for a miracle, that bhi end mein hamare hi chakke lagne ya wo wale out ho jayenge, nothing of the sort statistically is likely to happen.
Yeah, most likely the leads are going to go in this direction.
It can change a little. Yeah, it can change on the margins.
But now
the trend is set.
The trend is set.
The trend is set.
I think what we can fairly say at this moment of time, that it would be very difficult for NDA to now cross 325, and BJP will struggle to get majority on its own. It is still possible that they can get majority on their own, but it wouldn't be a comfortable majority.
So the irony of this whole election is that the BJP's national vote share has actually gone up by 3%, 40% at this moment. So the exit poll can say...
Got the BJP numbers right, not the Congress numbers.
They got the vote share right. They got the BJP's vote share right, because the BJP has increased its pan-India presence by 3%. The Congress has increased its pan-India presence by about 7%.
That's why I said seat conversion in India is very, very hard, because it doesn't only depend on winner's vote share, it also depends on the gap between winner and runner-up and how the distribution of other parties had taken place. I think Congress has done surprisingly well in terms of vote share, and one should give it to them.
Okay, so we need to do a hot seat cool hawa. Preeti, why don't you go ahead and give us a hot seat cool hawa. Producer, let's go.
All right, let's begin hot seat, cool hawa, and let's begin with Amethi. Well, on the hot seat with some cool hawa is no one else but Congress's Kishori Lal Sharma. You have Smriti Irani, who's trailing right now on the seat of Amethi. The Congress in the lead where Amethi is concerned. Well, that is the hot seat. And with quite a margin where the seat of Amethi is concerned. Well, the Congress would be very glad. Priyanka Gandhi Rajdeep did campaign heavily there, but neighboring Rai Bareli, it seems Rahul Gandhi right now leading where hot seat cool hawa is concerned. Quite a bit of AC blowing in for Rahul Gandhi, quite a big margin that he's leading from where Rai Bareli is concerned. These two seats, Rajdeep, even when Priyanka Gandhi, when you interviewed her, she said these two seats I'm going to take
she made a prestige,
of.
particularly she made Amethi a prestige fight. I just am getting some of our farmaishes meanwhile.
Delhi, let's look at Delhi. Hot seat, cool hawa in Delhi. Which seats coming up next? All right, Kanhaiya Kumar, despite of the campaign that he mounted, Kanhaiya Kumar trailing, very comfortable is Manoj Tiwari from the Bharatiya Janata Party on the northeast seat in Delhi. Actually, all 7 seats where Delhi is concerned, right now, BJP leading in all 7. Mandi, let's cut across to Himachal. Kangana Ranaut leading in her seat where hot seat cool hawa is concerned. The cool hawa blowing for Kangana Ranaut. She's going to find herself in the parliament in all probability. Huge lead for Kangana Ranaut.
Okay.
Can I just get some quick farmaishes which are coming from people in government, so you want to say yes to them?
Which government?
The present government. Abhi tak government ek hi hai, government bandi nahi hai.
So,
Prajwal Revanna.
There's something I'm very keen on showing. I'll show you.
Yeah, okay, you can do that first. Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
There's something I want to show you. People are saying, okay, what can change? How much can the hawa change? Let's do the maths. There are 185 seats where the vote share of the NDA is between 40 and 50, 178 where it's more than 50. So if you add that up, it's 363. So the maximum the NDA can go to, because see, if your vote share is less than 40, then the chance of winning is very low. You have to have a vote share to be in especially if it's a bipolar contest, above 40%. So 363 is the if every shot goes for a boundary, even then the NDA only gets to 363. Similarly, if I do the same for the India Alliance, and if you want to see how things can change potentially from an India Alliance perspective, 220 plus 125. So 345 is the maximum end of the range the India Alliance can go to. It doesn't work like this, but just...
There's a central limit theorem, it will not
no, I'm just saying,
in one
because
direction.
people like, if they want to hit ki 6 chakke lag sakte hain kya? Agar laga. So 345 is the maximum end of the range, because in any seat where you are less than 40%, the chance of converting that is very, very minuscule. So therefore, if you believe that you can do a Yuvraj Singh, that's really the maximum.
But basically what you're saying, Rahul, there are about 61 plus 37. There are about 98 seats in play. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, so I can show that to you. So I would say
effectively at this moment, 98 seats in play.
There are 117 seats, ladies and gentlemen,
less than 20.
Where the gap between the party in the lead and the runner-up is less than 10,000, because the Lok Sabha seat, so you can take 10,000 as being a reasonable margin.
And what is the BJP's tally at the moment?
Out of this, the India Alliance is leading in 66, up 40. 12 of those are SP seats, 10 are Trinamool seats, 25 are Congress seats. The NDA is at 48, down 29, BJP at 42, JDU at 3.
But Rahul, I just want to add one caveat.
Yes.
There's a lot of slow counting going on, especially in North India. When you look at some of the numbers there, they're not even halfway. Yeah, but Maharashtra is a relatively, when I'm looking at, there's a direction in Maharashtra.
Right.
So there's very slow counting going on in several states. So we should be still very, very careful.
BJP is leading on 240. So you are at least 33 short of a majority by itself.
As of now.
So the chance of BJP being able to get to a majority on its own
is looking more and more doubtful.
Is tough.
Is looking more and more doubtful. I think it's not impossible.
In the latter stages, they need to do a Rinku Singh. If they can do a Rinku Singh, they may.
Why it's difficult? Because in 3 key states where BJP was hoping to do well according to exit polls, UP, Maharashtra and Bengal, they are directionally going in opposition.
Not Maharashtra, but...
okay, can I show you something very, very, very fascinating? Okay, I just pulled this out of the election intelligence dashboard. This is months and months of hard labor paying dividends in a spectacular fashion, really. On the 156 Dalit seats, the reserved seats, 96 are being led by the India Alliance, up 56 from the last time. The NDA at 54, down 37 from the last time. This is really that whole idea that the Samvidhan is the Sita and everyone's trying to save her. That campaign did play a big role. 35 of these are Congress seats. And if you see the areas where the India Alliance has done well, a lot of this really comes from the fact that not just Muslims, Yadavs, but also Dalits have come into the India tally, which is why they've done as well as they have. That's probably why the BJP panicked mid-course. They realized this was becoming a big issue. They tried to damage control. It doesn't seem to have worked fully.
Also, may I say, we keep saying Samvidhan as the reason. I have another reason also. Which is? Samvidhan is not the only reason. Please understand, I went to Musahar family's in Bihar. I went to Dalit bastis in UP. They are the poorest community even today.
No.
They are the ones who have suffered post-COVID.
But Rajdeep, there is a difference between the Dalit communities and the tribal communities. The moment I look at the tribal data, it's very different. Amongst the tribal, 68 tribal seats, the NDA is leading on 46. So what's happened on the Dalit seats has not happened on the tribal seats. 46 are NDA seats. Down only 5 from the last time. India at 17, Congress at 12 gains. So what's happened in the Dalit seats is very different from what's happened in the tribal seats.
In tribal, identity politics matters more. In Dalit pockets, incomes matter more. Falling incomes. I've heard people saying, 6,000 rupees kamana mushkil hai. I've been saying this for post-COVID, in the last few years, many people have heard. And then you can't go along saying, sab kuch changa hai. Then somewhere it strikes to people who have suffered. I think some of the overt display of ostentation by politicians, by this, and I think that struck. You see, you're not giving Rahul Gandhi whatever else. He's been constantly banging on about inequality. That inequality narrative did strike a chord. It's not just constitution. Constitution for that, I don't believe it mattered as much as we are making it out. Across India, what really mattered is my falling income. I am suffering while everyone else mauj kar raha hai. Mauja hai mauja for India's upper caste and the higher incomes. Somewhere there should be a recognition of inequality, my friend.
Okay, here it is. I showed you what's happening on the Dalit seats. This is the story of the Indian election. Look at what's happening in the general category seats. General category seats are those seats where the upper castes dominate and I have the ability to influence the seat. On the general category seats, we have trends for 137. The NDA is doing very well. 84 leads the India Alliance at 50. The India Alliance has gained 31. The NDA is down 14. But doing very well. You saw how the Dalit seats have turned. That's a big story. If I look at the OBC seats, seats where other backward castes communities have a substantial sway, 312 such seats. The NDA holding on. The NDA holding on, 187 down only 5. India Alliance 117 up 55. If I come now to the Muslim-dominated seats across the country, you see over here the India Alliance is up 50, is at 50, up 13. NDA is at 42, down 8. What that means, Rajdeep, is if I look at the caste cauldron, in the Dalit seats, in the Dalit-dominated seats, is where the biggest change has happened. 36 down for the NDA. This is the story. This kind of analytics, it will take parties in their war rooms hours, days to be able to do what the India Today Data Intelligence Dashboard is able to do in real time for all of you who are joining in at this moment. NDA at 55, down 36 on the Dalit-dominated seats. This is where this election has changed from what the BJP was expecting.
No, absolutely. I agree with you. I think this is fascinating because this is the big change that we are seeing. While we are seeing transformation of Hindi heartland seats, new areas, Dalit seats, I think, are a major change that's taken place at the moment in this election. Yes, Rajat.
That goes back to 90s era of mandal politics coming and rearing its head once again. In a new form. Definitely in a much more newer caliber, but it is.
But why I'm hesitant to make any big assumptions on this election? I can go from state to state. Rahul himself pointed out tribal seats. But you can go from one state where the Congress does well in tribal areas, another state BJP is sweeping.
No, but Dalit votes you can see that was reflected in the pan-India secular decline for BJP, and that needs to be arrested by the BJP.
My belief, more than mandal, it's about class. This time, those who have hurted at the bottom of the pyramid. One of the beliefs is that the BJP through free ration, and Preeti put it very well, that she went and met people who kept saying, humko ration mila hai. But that's not enough. People want more. There's an aspirational class within the Dalits. Maybe they're not getting...
If your reason to vote for a party is ration, that means there is something wrong.
I think somewhere Rahul Gandhi's inequality, more than caste census, what actually struck a chord is inequality. This is an unequal country. And those at the bottom of the pyramid are reminding those at the top, hamara bhi khayal rakho. Somewhere there's a message. But can I please ask Farmaish? Because this...
I'm telling you, if I start charging for every Farmaish we get, our startup would have been billionaire status. We would have had, unicorn status by the end of the evening.
Take Rajdeep's Farmaish.
Yes, Rajdeep sir, Farmaish. Irshad.
Two or three small things. One, Prajwal Revanna.
Okay.
A lot of women activists have just buzzed me saying, is he leading? Is he losing?
50,000.
Well, that's good to hear.
50,000.
50,000.
So broadly in Karnataka, the NDA is down 7 seats from the last time, 19. BJP has 16, JDS has 3. I want to come to Hassan. Hassan is the seat. Prajwal Ravanna at this moment is leading, but it's a very narrow lead. 1,26,000 for Shreyas Patel of the Congress. 1,29,000 for Prajwal Ravanna of the Janata Dal Secular. Very narrow lead.
The next one is Raj Babbar in Gurgaon. Obviously, there are a lot of film buffs who still see Insaf Ka Tarazu and all the films that Raj Babbar once did.
The broad story in Haryana is that Messrs. Huda and company have a real chance in the assembly election, because if in a Lok Sabha election, despite having Prime Minister Modi on the ticket, the Congress currently leading on 6, the BJP on 4, that's the Congress, which is Ambala, Gurgaon, Hisar, Rohtak, Sirsa and Sonipat. And if I look at Gurgaon, and show you what's happening there, Raj Babbar, 2,16,639 votes versus Rao Inderjeet Singh at 1,91,883. It's a reasonable lead. Raj Babbar, who didn't know why he got Gurgaon.
Explain this to us. Preeti, you know Haryana better.
It's amazing because see, Gurgaon has 2 constituencies in it in terms of the demograph. One, you see the glitzy Gurgaon, and the other is the rural belt. Gurgaon usually has always voted for the Bharatiya Janata Party. It was a done deal to begin with. The Congress literally wrote Gurgaon off. And, you know, it's so interesting, Rajdeep. I was in the party office of the Congress trying to get, one of the leaders in Rohtak. And they were saying they were seeing green shoots in Gurgaon. So they thought there was hope because if there was hope in Gurgaon, there was hope in across Haryana.
So that's the other one.
No, but this is alarm bells for the assembly elections for the BJP. And the question is, can they turn it back? If they'd won in the Lok Sabha elections, you could have said, okay, with the power that we got behind us.
Gurgaon also has a lot of Ahirwal, Yadav
That's right.
which is not the non-Jat vote.
If you website saying Prajwal Ravanna trailing.
So can I explain how this happens? Because everybody now is playing pop cephalogist and has very sharp views on this. The data comes from a vendor called DataNet, which is slightly different from the Election Commission website. They have their own independent mechanism. Therefore, the two don't tally immediately. As the hours wear on, they will begin to tally. Initially, there will be a bit of a variation, which will collapse in some time. So it will happen. That's the difference. So the problem is that people start sensing conspiracies. Nobody has time for conspiracies. These are live analytics on your
now
screen
that you
right
looked
now.
at Haryana,
What did you want,
Jharkhand as a state, because that is also going into assembly elections.
Yeah, Jharkhand.
So it's an important state because
The final one that I wanted was Mahua Moitra, who still says that she's leading now by 67,000 votes.
You know, she's really adding to our viewership and engagement numbers,
you've
which is
never
fantastic.
shown me leading. Can you
Okay,
know
can you
the
please show her leading?
And Preeti went there. So Preeti, you will.
She had her back
And
against the
I'll
wall.
ask you a bit about her. I'll ask you a bit about
So the Trinamool at 31 seats, 9 up from the last time. The BJP at 10. You know, that's a big, big blow for the BJP. 8 down from the last time. The BJP most certainly wasn't expecting this. I want to go to Krishnanagar and see what's happening over there. Mahua Mitra is leading now. 127, and she's leading with some style. Huh? She's leading with a fair margin. Amrita Roy is at 92,000. The Maharani at 92,199. Mahua Mitra is now leading 127,422.
What was her campaign like? You went there.
It was a tough campaign for Mahua, and why I say it is, the Prime Minister did a rally in her constituency. The Home Minister came in her constituency. It wasn't easy for her. She had her back on the wall, especially of what she's been coming off. She needed this. And, when I met Mahua Moitra, Rajdeep, she was angry. She wanted to prove a point. She wanted to come back to Lok Sabha in style. She's not, with especially what has happened. And if this holds, then she's back.
The fact is, this was an election which was also a prestige fight for the TMC. The manner she'd been expelled.
For her
and Mamta went 3 times there to campaign, which she didn't do in many other constituencies. It has a large Muslim population. What's clear, I think, is the MM factor is working for the TMC now. Muslim plus Mahila. When you add the two, and I believe the Mahila factor, we're seeing it with Nitish Kumar still holding his own. I remember a bureaucrat again saying, Uski Jivika scheme aap dekho, whatever else, that scheme of self-help groups has worked. It's not worked for Naveen Patnaik, so one size doesn't fit all. He too has spent a lot of investment. It didn't work for Jagan, who put a lot of effort in women. So there is no one size, but if West Bengal there's any story, it's MM. Muslim plus Mahila gives Mamta Banerjee a kind of 40% vote.
But think of it. I think it's a much more complicated explanation.
Go ahead.
What seems to be happening.
This is the academic. Go.
In West Bengal, that BJP's vote share from Lok Sabha has come down, and Congress and left seem to be holding up or have got 1 or 2 percentage point more, which means that if Muslim consolidation has happened in favor of Trinamool, then there is a fragmentation of Hindu vote, and especially the tribal and Dalit vote that was backing BJP in the last election. And this adds to much more of the economic anxiety sort of.
Exactly. That's a rural heartland as well, part of an extended rural heartland.
Exactly.
So you will see challenges.
Okay, so in Trivandrum, Rajiv Chandrasekhar at 1,47,312 votes leads over Shashi Tharoor of the Congress at 1,31,000. And the reason that's happening is because Panyan Ravindran of the CPI has pulled away 1 lakh plus votes. So in a three-corner triangular fight, Shashi Tharoor now trailing to Rajiv Chandrasekhar by about 16,000 votes. That's a big one to look at very carefully. From here, we want to go, for example, we want to look at Jharkhand and take you through the numbers for Jharkhand. On the 14 seats of Jharkhand, where again, assembly elections are due virtually in a few weeks from now, the India Alliance is at 4, up 2 from the last time. 2 of these are JMM, 2 are Congress. The BJP is at 10, down, the NDA is at 10. So, no, but it says, so it's at 10. So, AJSU is 0 and BJP is 9. That's at 10, so it's down 2. From here, let's now just for a moment go to Rajasthan, because one of the most significant stories of this election has been written on the 25 seats of Rajasthan, where for the first time in a direct BJP-Congress battle, the Congress is almost toe-to-toe in a state where they lost the assembly elections badly. It shows you the fickle nature of Indian politics and how fast things can change on the ground. Never take anything for granted. Don't think you can do whatever you want without caring for the Indian voter.
And that also reflects like what happens to the regional satraps like Vasundhara Raje or Shivraj when they were removed.
It has an impact.
It has an impact because they will not be able to pull their weights.
So now you've got
not all
Congress
calculations
leading
work
at
well
10.
for you.
Up 9 from the last time. The BJP is at 14, down 10. Vasundhara Raje, when she's looking at this, would be saying, you know, you took me lightly, didn't treat me well, serves you guys right. The BJP is, if I show you the leads for the Congress, 10 is, people thought 2, 3, 4, 5. The Congress currently leading in Barmed, Bharatpur, Churu, Dosa, Ganganagar, Jhunjhunu, Karauli, Nagaur, Sikar and in Tong Savai Madhya.
Rahul, the man who's leading in Churu is Vasundhara Raje's man.
Rahul
Kaswa, who went from the BJP to the Congress, is Vasundhara's close aide.
And she brought in a very delicate that balancing act between Jats on one side and Jats on the one side. And that is missing right
100%.
now.
And someone who is from UP again going to the ground has given me an interesting angle to what she thinks has been happening in there. She said, don't forget the Rajput factor.
Yeah.
This was a community which after Purushottam Rupala's comments, those comments spread like wildfire across Rajasthan into parts of Uttar Pradesh. They had to hold sabhas to try and minimize the damage.
The reason why in Saharanpur, Muzaffarnagar, there are 2 seats. The reason why possibly the Congress in Saharanpur and the SP in Muzaffarnagar is leading, a lot of that also has to do with the Thakur vote. In the constituencies of Muzaffarnagar, the Thakur vote hasn't come in into kind of the strength it had to. And we saw it in both
Especially when you are in such a tight election, each of these small Kshatriya vote here and there can actually start creating impact. Otherwise, this could have been a very normal affair.
Sardana was this one constituency, Sangeet Soms, where that entire clash was happening. And if you looked at the voting percentage, it was less than 50%.
Right.
So it's not that they voted for Samajwadi Party, they just didn't vote.
Okay, Preeti, the news point is that the Congress will reach out to Chandrababu Naidu, and the one person who could actually... No, man. TDP is a confirmation. The person who could actually do the dealing could be his erstwhile colleague, Revanth Reddy.
Do they have a good relationship?
Yes, huge, very good relationship.
Very good relationship.
Very good.
Very good
Exceptionally good relationship.
Despite the fact that he left the TDP.
Okay, can we do some fun? I have an idea. Okay, so we can do this on the...
He was also helping him, resources-wise and everything.
On the tug of war, I can hypothetically
Can you give me the BJP numbers therefore?
No, I can do something more fun.
Because the Congress has no stake in Andhra Pradesh.
Yeah, fair enough.
On paper.
So what we can do is we can play a game. Okay, while we're waiting for these numbers to come, we can play a game. Listen, we have no skin in the game. No matter who wins, we only get galis. Okay, so just bear with me and we'll play this out. I'm not sure this is happening. We don't even know if Chandrababu Naidu will switch. But if they do, we can try and see what happens. So basically, TDP has 16. TDP has 16. If you take them there, it becomes 352. If you take TDP to the India Alliance, it goes to 252. Could there be a twist in the tail? If you take JDU also, now if Nitish Kumar somehow is angry that meeting didn't go well.
This is the irony. He was was there yesterday saving his chair.
262 plus 14 then becomes 276.
And today he's a kingmaker.
What is it?
Now
How
he'll
much?
get another
I'm
chair.
saying if
Let Rahul explain this, yes.
Chandrababu Naidu
Yes.
and Nitish Kumar, remember guys, we're still waiting for the numbers.
How
to
much
come
are
through.
they?
No, so then it becomes 276. So you got
Chandrababu is how much?
Chandrababu is 16, Nitish Kumar is 14, that's 30. Add 30, that's 236, 266.
RLD 2.
Who?
RLD 2.
No, you've got these independents.
Yeah,
Listen,
independent. I'm just
the
giving you
BJP is
two
coming
extra.
back to power. Don't let nobody get carried away.
I can't see the BJP not coming back to power. I cannot see Prime Minister Modi not becoming Prime Minister. But I think what you have now is that you will have to work with these allies. It's clear, and the big difference between 2014, 19 and 24 is this. The BJP government that now comes to power will have to accommodate allies, will have to accommodate parliament. You see, you will have, you know how India is now. Imagine 30 Samajwadi Party MPs every day, 30 Trinamool Congress MPs every day, and a 95 strong Congress.
No, point taken, Rajdeep, but I think the Congress will not make the mistake that Digvijay Singh made in Goa at one point in time.
Oh yeah.
They would want to make their moves.
They will try.
This is the time when it is
Why
happening.
not?
But
You
the
are
difference
telling me
was,
these are the
sir,
numbers.
the difference was that time they were the larger party.
Sorry?
What's the harm in not in trying?
No,
Why
last
would
time
the
they had 18 seats. They had more seats than the
you know,
BJP.
honestly speaking, the BJP
Now
is
the
the single
BJP
largest party. It will be called to form the government.
The president will call them.
Yeah, the president. I mean, that's how the norms are.
That's right.
The single largest party will be called, and
But
once
you
Prime
will
Minister
have-
is called,
you will have,
I don't
therefore-
see any challenge to BJP. I don't
I
see
agree
any
with
threat.
you. I don't see a challenge to that. But what I do see is a strong opposition. I see institutions therefore pushing back in a way that you haven't seen before, including the media, hopefully. And you will see that. Because you will not, remember what happened in the last term. There were the farm laws rammed through. You can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
This has changed the nature of politics. Single election, this all talk, one nation, one election is gone out of the window. Uniform civil code.
UCC is back on the discussion
What
board,
happened?
yeah.
2/3. You won't have, because you won't have 2/3 now. That's very clear. And when the next Rajya Sabha round takes place, the opposition will have a large number of its MPs.
Rajdeep,
That's the change.
Rajdeep, one small question. I mean, all along we were thinking it's a Tina factor, there is no alternative. But let's assume, I mean, hypothetically speaking, could there be a situation where we could have Neeta, as in Nitin is alternative, or Rita, Rajnath is alternative?
But you see, why would I have gone into this election with under Prime Minister Modi? Modi ki guarantee. Let's be fair. This election has been fought under Prime Minister Modi. He has every right to return. And therefore, I expect him to complete that. This Nitin Gadkari,
Listen.
Rajnath Singh, I'll tell you when that would happen. If 289 goes below 272. Or if the BJP on its own goes below 240. If the BJP on its own goes below 240, which is a possibility,
237 right now.
237.
you see, at below 240, you need all these allies with you.
Yes.
Then there may be the odd ally who will say, would you like to think of someone else? That is possible. It's happened. Indian politics, there are lots of people wanting more and more power.
If it had been a 400 par kind of government, then Indian politics would have been very predictable and boring for the next 5 years. This is anything but boring. It's a very interesting verdict that's been
lot
thrown
of
out.
politics is happening right now. All the phone calls that you can possibly couldn't imagine a day 24 hours back, those phone calls are happening as we speak.
And remember, the BJP now cannot take the TDP for granted, they cannot take Nitish Kumar for granted, they can't even take Chirag Paswan for granted, they can't take Eknath Shinde for granted, they can't even take Kumaraswamy for granted, they can't take Ajit Singh's Jayant Chaudhary for granted, they can't even take Pawan Kalyan. Kisi ko bhi granted nahi le sakte.
No, you see, the only way you have to offer prime ministership. Suppose you offer Chandrababu or Nitish Kumar, prime ministership.
नहीं वो ज्यादा हो जाएगा.
Then Nitish Kumar is always had to
Rajdeep,
submission.
you're getting carried away now. Rajdeep is finding some jugaad.
Sir, this is a country where Chandrasekhar was propped up.
But he's not that young right now to be able to hold on to his 15. अभी ज्यादा करेगा तो फिर वो भी तो possibility है.
Sir, you're right. I'm only throwing up hypothetical situations.
Fair enough. Absolutely.
I said very clearly, I believe it will be a BJP-led, Modi-led government.
Okay.
But what is very clear now is options and alternatives emerge for these allies of a kind that were not there for the last 10 years.
And what also emerges is that the nation is hooked onto our coverage as could not have been imagined
तुमने कोई
otherwise.
YouTube figure आज दिया नहीं? Normally, Rahul?
दिया है सर, दिया है, आ गया.
कोई contest ही नहीं है. Like for example, there is a battle on, at least as far as viewership is concerned, there is no contest. The election intelligence dashboard in India Today's coverage is sweeping the stakes. Here are the seats that now seem settled. It's interesting that in the seats where the margin is more than 1 lakh, The NDA has 79, up 4 from the last time. The India Alliance at 24. So these are seats which are now settled, game, set and match on these seats for these alliances. I now look at seats where the margin is more than 50,000. These two are seats where the end result is now not going to change. 141 of those for the NDA, 67 for the India Alliance. The NDA is 1 up. So these are big wins coming from Gujarat, big wins coming from Madhya Pradesh, big wins coming from Rajasthan, big wins coming from Western UP, big wins coming from Himachal. These are seats that are settled. Let's now look at seats where the margin is more than 25,000. These seats too, ladies and gentlemen, to my mind, are seats where it's now very difficult. If the margin is more than 25, the direction is set, so it's very difficult for this to change. The NDA leading on 197 such seats, 114 for the India Alliance, up 42 from the last time. The Congress is 51. Now,
breaking news, a left leader, senior left leader has just rung up Chandrababu Naidu to congratulate him and said that you can be the future of this country.
PM Banjao.
He has not used the word PM. He has said, I congratulate you on your week. You can be the future of this country.
You should know this. If Chandrababu Naidu is given the option, okay, we can pull out Andhra Pradesh and show you what's happening there. If he's given the option that these are 25 seats of Andhra Pradesh, on these seats, Naidu, NDA has 21 because 16 are TDP. You come with these 16, join the India Alliance. Will he bite? They say, okay, you become PM.
If the PM post is open,
they'll make it available. They have nothing to lose.
If the PM post is open, I think from both sides, I think he would be believed.
No, but it's not that easy because itni khichdi sarkar ke PM banna, how long will he last? He'll last for like barely 2 months, 3 months. No. See, that scenario,
let's not underestimate his political acumen.
Fair enough, I'm giving in. Therefore, we are discussing and deliberating him being a PM. But
does he have that
India Alliance...
I come back to an ambition.
Why not? I mean, his father-in-law had that ambition, so would Chandrababu Naidu. And Naidu is now 74. I mean, he would think this is his chance to end his innings on a hooray. And Nara Lokesh is there.
I know he's always believed. He told me this in the interview also, off record. I set the trend, whether it was digital India, whether it was smart cities, I set the trend. Correct. Others have only copied me.
Which is correct to a large extent.
It is correct to a large extent. Sudhir knows those days well when every leader would land up in Hyderabad first, Bill Clinton onwards, they'd first pay a visit to the entrepreneurs, as they were called. Dekho, ye public hai kya amazing hai. When I went to Andhra Pradesh, they felt left out, that they were no longer relevant in national politics. Guess
for 10 years,
all my gadus there.
Exactly,
all
Rajdeep.
the Baru gadus, everyone
for
there.
10 years, 10 years, Telugu-speaking politicians were out of the power equation.
Right. Now
they were completely high and dry, left aside.
So where is this election still hot? How many seats are still up for grabs? Let's look at that for a moment now. 86 seats where the margin is less than 10,000. So no matter which side of the equation you're on, there are 86 seats at this moment where the margin between the party that's number 1 and number 2 is less than 10,000 votes. The India Alliance has 50 of these, which means that these are leads which are slippery. 28 up from the last time. NDA is on 33. So the seats where the trend seems well established, those seats are largely NDA seats. Seats where the battle is still tight, there the India Alliance has a disproportionate advantage, 50, which means their leads are still slender.
That's right. So the India Alliance, therefore, is also more vulnerable.
Slender leads.
More vulnerable than the NDA. Just one thing, just getting from an ODI channel, and therefore you can... At the moment, according to them, it's not a done deal. BJD is very much back in the assembly. In fact, they are saying the Congress could be the kingmaker. Okay. As of now...
So let's go to Odisha, Rajdeep. 147 seats in Odisha. 57 are for the BJD, down 56 from the last time. 75 for the BJP, up 52 from the last time. Congress at 12, up 3 from the last time.
Changed a little bit.
So these numbers may well be changing.
Yeah, they have changed
Local
already.
channels are saying 60 for the BJP, 13 for the Congress. So that makes, and BJP at 71. So it's a very tough fight there in Odisha. So and it's amazing because if you look at Lok Sabha, it's a complete sweep to the BJP. So that same voter, I mean, it is ये क्या country है? संबलपुर का कोई गरीब बैठा हुआ है अपनी कुटिया में and decided मुझे शंख चाहिए for भुवनेश्वर और मुझे कमल चाहिए for दिल्ली. अरे public है जनार्दन जनता
and they might as well be deciding who the Prime Minister would be eventually in Delhi.
Yeah, you know, Odisha could also have a role. Odisha could also have a role with 2.
If BJD, now that's a good theory you've given, because if the BJD were to feel really irritated, they could go to the India Alliance. But how many Lok Sabha seats do they have? Before that, let me show you Andhra Pradesh. 175 seats. Chandrababu Naidu, which is why even in that graphic that we have, he's smiling so big. 130 out of 175. It swung one way the last time.
Contested 144, so its strike rate is brilliant.
Phenomenal. YSRCP down to 18, down 133. The Indian public can take you sky high, bring you crashing down. It can switch very, very quickly. That's Andhra Pradesh. Let's now go back to the parliament and take a look at what's happening in Odisha. In Odisha, if we actually get down, can things change? It's just fun and games in the studio right now, but these are political games that are being played in the real world and efforts being made to see what can happen. See, this is quite phenomenal. Big gains for the BJP coming from Odisha. 11 seats up from the last time. BJD is 11 seats down from the last time in the Lok Sabha elections. It's really Uttar Pradesh which messed things up for the BJP. 36 leads. Forget 70, 80. There were those in the BJP who say 80 aayingi, 70 to aani hai. They are down to 36, down 28 seats from the last time. India Alliance is 7 seats above the NDA, 35 for the SP, 36 for the NDA, Congress at 8. In fact, if I look at a seat-by-seat breakup, SP has one more seat than the BJP. Akhilesh Yadav is one of the big heroes of this election. Chandrababu Naidu, big hero. Yes. Akhilesh Yadav, big hero. And then
Sharad Pawar, in his own small way.
Mamata
Banerjee. So lots of, you see, it's normally last 2 elections, it's all been about Prime Minister Modi. This time you have state-level leaders who are spreading their wings out, who are also showing that they're doing. Odisha, the BJP's campaign in Odisha, Dharmendra Pradhan and others.
You need to also give it to Sharad Pawar. See, he did, numbers are one thing, but he held on to this
He's kept the alliance going together.
It's just unbelievable. He was the principal architect of this.
And what an election. You know, you went, Rahul, to Baramulla. Think about it. Voters should know. You mentioned Amritpal Singh. Engineer Rashid is leading in jail, arrested, and I know, I mean, people may have differences about Engineer Rashid's politics, but he's a fine man. And his son alone did the campaign. Guess what? At the moment, he is leading.
No, and Omar Abdullah is doing quite badly, huh? Just 79,741.
This is a vote against, please understand.
Chief Minister, actually.
Sir, Engineer Rashid is a vote for the, the government must also take note. The manner in which people were arrested under the Public Safety Act. It's one thing to abrogate Article 370. But when you arrest someone like Engineer Rashid, people are hearing, public ki awaaz suniye. Netas are being told that, including those at the very top in this country. Another such, a result like this is coming from Boshirhat. Remember Sandesh Kali dominated the headlines. Trinamool is winning big in Boshirhat where Sandesh Kali is.
That is an unfortunate result. I mean, if you on one side look at Prajwana's thing and here you Sandesh Kali, you can't have a flip argument.
Sir, the Shah Jahan Sheikh by all is a land grabber and therefore deserves to be. But there was also
you need to give the women victims benefit of doubt there. You can't be saying that 2,000 rupees li aur badal diya unhone apna.
There are two stories coming out. All I'm saying
this two-story theory can have to, then that has to be put in till everywhere, even for Prajwal Revanna, till the courts do not stamp in. He's still accused at best.
I'm not going to dispute with you. I think till the court comes out with a verdict on Shah Jahan Sheikh, we should hold our
There are days when things go your way, if this is cricket. And there are things, and I very firmly think that there's lots of similarities between cricket and politics. There are days when, those balls which otherwise take an edge and go to the boundary, sometimes that doesn't happen and they go. It's just like BJP is having a bad day. Because remember, they were at 243. From that, the BJP is now fallen 6 to 237. So the BJP's individual ask to get to 273, which is the magical figure, is becoming tougher.
We have a Congress guest waiting. Suddenly, congressmen and women are coming. JB